Stories of great warriors echo through history, but few are as astonishing as the tale of the gladiator who was offered freedom 4 times and 4 times refused it. This is the legend of Flamma, the flame of the Colosseum. His story begins not in Rome, but in the distant lands of Syria, where he served as a soldier. Captured in conflict and sold into slavery, he was thrust into the brutal world of a gladiator school, a ludus, where men were forged into weapons for the arena's bloody sand. Stripped of his identity, he was given a new name, one that would soon be roared by thousands in the heart of the empire. Flamma, the flame, a name that perfectly captured the fire and fury he would unleash upon his opponents. Stepping onto the floor of the Colosseum as a secutor, a heavily armed chaser, Flamma was a terrifying sight. With his large shield, helmet and short sword, he became a master of his craft. He moved with a deadly grace, a blur of bronze and steel, cutting down opponent after opponent. His skill was not just impressive, it was legendary. The proof of his prowess is etched into stone on the tombstone that would later mark his final resting place. His epitaph tells a tale of incredible survival and dominance. He fought 34 times. Of those battles, he was victorious in 21. 9 ended in a draw, a stands misses, where both fighters were allowed to leave the arena alive, their skill and endurance equally matched. Only 4 times in his entire career did he taste defeat. For a gladiator, the ultimate prize was not wealth or fame, but freedom. This was symbolized by the rudes, a simple wooden sword awarded to those who had earned their release from the arena. In a grand ceremony, with the crowd watching and the emperor presiding, Flamma was offered this symbol of liberation. It was the dream of every man who bled on the sides. Yet Flamma did the unthinkable. He refused it. He chose to hand back the wooden sword and pick up his steel gladius once more. This was not a singular act of defiance. The historical record on his tombstone confirms it. 4 separate times, he was granted his freedom, and 4 times he chose to remain a gladiator, to return to the only life he knew. Every legend, however, must have an end. At the age of 30, after a decade of fighting and surviving against all odds, Flamma entered the arena for his final battle. This time the flame was extinguished. He fell in combat, his extraordinary career brought to a close, but his story did not die with him. His comrade in arms, a fellow gladiator named Delicatus, erected a tombstone in Sicily to honor his fallen friend. It was this act of brotherhood that preserved the incredible story of Flamma, ensuring that the man who chose the roar of the crowd over a quiet life of freedom would be immortalized, his legend echoing for millennia. Countless men fought and died in the arenas of Rome, their names lost to the sands of time, but some, through sheer will and extraordinary deeds, carved their names into the very stone of history. Flamma was one of them, a warrior whose legend continues to burn brightly long after his final battle was fought.